You know, we will be in college next year, and I guess it will be up to Aaron and Kaylee to take our place. I have to say those juniors have made a pretty big improvement. They might do all right next year, I guess.
At least once they figure out how to turn on the microphone, right?
Yeah.
But I suppose you're right. I'll be up at the University of Minnesota Duluth next year, and you'll be down in La Crosse. So yeah, it'll be up to them to step in and fill our shoes, I guess. Our next performer tonight is Chloe Steiner. Chloe's no stranger to the show, having been in numerous musical and dance acts, as well as helping out in back years, as well as right now.
In the curtain.
This year, she has a message she'd like to share with everyone in a modern form of prose.
She believes our society has morphed into something we shouldn't necessarily be proud of. She wants everyone here to know that how we act can be very important, and that we shouldn't be afraid of change. Please welcome Chloe Steiner as she performs her original slam poetry entitled, "We All Have the Power."
We live in a world where average aims for applause. We live in a world where people are noticed by their flaws. We live in a world where having goals and values is bad. So let's just take a pause. I want to speak to a generation to warn them of a society that centers their attention on things that don't benefit. 15-year-old male got 120 likes on a Truth Is Great post. Teenagers letting themselves be judged by a number someone else gives them. Or we think the bigger the truck, the better we are. Or the more expensive the shoes, the more we are worth. See, we invest ourselves in material things because we think it will make up for the loss of character. So I speak to a generation who lives for the philosophy of YOLO. A generation that lives it up because you only live once. So ironically, we use words to signify that we are living, yet we don't even know what we speak. We use words like faded, to lose brilliance or to die out gradually, wasted, to be used up or worn down gradually, chopped, to be cut in half or into small bits. So I speak to a generation of young men who think masculinity means to skillfully and implicitly downplay their chivalry, sympathy, and sensitivity, while inefficiently promoting delinquency in order to hide their true feelings of inefficiency, inability, and insecurity. So I speak to a generation of young girls who see marriage as it is portrayed on TV, with disloyalty, dishonesty, and dissatisfaction, wanting to follow in the footsteps of those who don't know what a relationship is really supposed to display. So I speak to a generation of young boys and girls who 2 out of 3 times mistake platonic friendship as an act of flirtation. 14-year-old girl, Facebook status. Would it be rude to give someone a Barbie doll for Christmas to remind them how fake they are? See, we forget about the true meaning of things and we start to distort them. Our society has been raised to say how we feel but forget about manners and respect. See, the power of the tongue may seem fun, but it is not far from our lungs, so don't think for 1 minute that death won't greet you while you're young. See, our true purpose came true to us the day Christ hung, and a new song was sung because the possibility of new life had just begun. I wonder if young men have ever heard the story of Joseph. Even in spite of a woman having wrong motives, Joseph didn't give lust, and he noticed, yet chose God to be his focus, and even when doing the right thing seemed to cost him everything, God didn't forget his promise. I wonder if young girls have ever heard the story of Esther, a young woman who knew her beauty was created for God and not created for men, who used her beauty to change the outcome of an entire empire. I wonder if we could be that generation that could change an entire nation, a generation that continually runs and fights temptation, that consistently works hard to achieve. I wonder if our minds would start transforming. I wonder if we would take the good news and start informing. All skyscrapers were once a slab of stone. All great inventions were once just ideas. We need to stop comparing ourselves to others and start to learn how we can grow as individuals. However, if we don't change, we don't grow. If we don't grow, we really aren't living. Having manners and respect aren't out of style. Josh Haynes, a bully victim, changed a whole school just by opening doors for people. He did it every day for his whole high school career, and eventually everybody else started doing it too. See, our generation does have hope. Josh was a regular kid that people would just pass in the hallway, yet he was able to change a whole school. The way people felt, acted, voiced opinions. We all have the power to change the world. But we need to be able to sacrifice our comfortability, our dignity, and our pride in order to do so. Don't let society tell you who you should be, but even better, help tell society what it should be. We all have a purpose in life, and we may not know it yet, but when the time comes, don't let society get you off the track. Show who you are and what you've become, because your new life has just begun.
Yeah!